our banner that we carry every year.
He said it.
Vicki, it's 2013. What do you foresee for mothers?
I see move forward for mothers because we're finally exposing what's really going on in this country and around the world too, but mostly in this country. I think we're on the upturn. Mothers are silent no longer. We're finding each other and we're mobilizing.
I heard Lynn Rosenthal's on our side.
A lot of people are on our side. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons why things will move forward. And our children will know what happened.
Amen. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. To the Mother's Day that we're all reunited. Here's to the Mother's Day that we're all reunited with our children. That's a really happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hi.
What brings you to the White House today?
Well, once again, we're here with Mothers of Lost Children to protest what's happening in the family courts. God, Kathy.
I know, kind of off the cuff, huh?
Done this. Don't do this to me.
Okay, cut.
Cut.
Would you like to be interviewed? Can you make a statement about why you're here today?
Yes, I would. My name is Melinda Gary, and I'm here because for all women, on behalf of all children who have been taken unjustly by the legal system, the court system, and we do want justice and we want to save our children.
Tell me why you're here at the White House today, ma'am.
I'm here because I have had no contact of any sort with my 3 children for nearly 3 years now, thanks to a Nevada family court judge who failed to enforce my visitation and contact rights.
I thank you for standing shoulder to shoulder with mothers of lost children.
It's a pleasure.
Can I ask you the same question?
Ask her your best because it would be better.
Okay.
At this time, I haven't attended all the meetings, and I'd rather give an educated, but I know.
You know what's going on.
Yes, I do. I'm in the middle of a court hearing with my grandchildren and my daughter.
Okay.
And Ben, this is why I fear judicial retaliation.
I know what you mean. Would you like to make a statement about why you're here?
Sure. I'm here because I'd like the family courts to change. I'd like them to listen to the children.
Speak up.
I'd like them to listen to what the children are saying. I'd like them to look at the documentation, if there's documentation on abuse. And I'd like them to protect our kids and look out for their safety. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to get well, here's what I'll do. Here's my card.
Violate human rights of battered mothers and children.
And
do you have a statement?
Picture of you.
Yes.
Okay, here it is.
Can I give Rebecca a sign first?
I just reset the battery.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I push this one halfway down.
All the way down. And then just make sure.
We're here, and it's Mother's Day 2013. We are here in support
I
of
heard
the
it click.
thousands and thousands and thousands of children who are affected by the injustice in the courts.
Okay.
When they have named
Okay.
and identified a perpetrator, a father, or whoever, and they are placed into the sole custody of that identified abuser by the child. If mothers in America report abuse and do everything to stand up to protect their children, they will lose custody through the court systems, through the failure of DCF and official avenues. And we are thankful to Lynn Rosenthal and the Office of Violence Against Women who are coming out to document and get evidence on this issue as we speak.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. We'll never stop trying to get our children back.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Would you like to?
I have a different take. Can you hold it for a second?
What brings you to the White House today?
Today I am standing in vigil for my child who, with my ex-husband, has been abused, and through the court system I lost my son to his abuser, and I have not seen my son in 5.5 years. There was domestic violence order protection. The attorneys coerced me to lift the restraining order, and I followed their advice. The most important thing that I have to say to mothers who are being battered and abused and who are trying to protect their children is to prosecute to the very fullest through criminal court. Do not let the abuser file for custody and win the criminal charges in a family court where there is different rules, and a mother is not a prosecuting attorney. A mother is there to nurture and protect her children and love her children, and that has been taken away from me and my son and many others.
Thank you so much. Can you stretch out this banner so I can read every word? National scandal. Family courts give children to identify. Do you have a statement?
I'm sorry?
Would you like to tell me why you are here today?
Oh, I'm here to fight for those women who've lost their children due to the incompetency and the discrimination of the courts.
Really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm very overwhelmed to be here in the midst of mothers. I never had to suffer the horror of losing my own child. I had to fight for custody of her, but I never lost her. And I can't imagine the strength of the women here who are dealing with this, because I know that if I had faced the same situation that I would not be here today. And so I'm really honored to be a part of this movement and to lend my support in whatever way I can to help these women and children who've been so unjustly treated. I want to see this end.
We're very honored to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Helen? Would you like to say?
Happy Mother's Day 2013. A lot of mothers have been stripped of their children because when a father sexually molests a child, it's a slam dunk. That father will get custody. And this is going on in the nation, from Maine to California. And we're trying to get the nation's courts and the nation's judges to stop awarding custody to abusers. There's no way in hell a mother can protect her child. That's the system today.
Thank you. Great t-shirt. Yay. Yay. As long as I kept the secret, I was just a battered woman. Once I
told I was a bitter, violent, lying, lazy, crazy, drunken, drugging, money-grubbing slut. He said it, the court believed it, that settled it.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. Huh. Yes, here we are on Mother's Day, May 12th. We're spread out, it's windy, but it's a great day in the capital city. It's a great day to rescue children from abusive parents. So, Mr. Obama, we hope you're listening. Why are you at the White House today?
Hi everybody, my name is Dulce Gomez. I'm from Mojave, California. This past November I lost all custody of my children. I have monitored visits. It's been really, really difficult, but you know what? I'm here in Washington, D.C., and I almost want to say thank you for doing this to me because I am a part of something so huge. And you're not going to take my life from me, and maybe my kids are taking it away from me temporarily, but I'm going to make a change. And I've met so many awesome women here, and to all the girls that are out there, save your money, don't give it to attorneys. Just do something, put that money into education, educate yourself, buy yourself a house because your kids are going to come back to you, okay? And take care of yourself. And I want to thank all the women that are being here today. I'm in Washington, D.C. I can't believe I'm here.
Oh, God bless you. We love it that you're here.
I'm so excited. And I love my kids so much.
Yes, they're going to know, too.
Anyways, thank you, and thank all of you wonderful women for inviting me and including me in this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. This is fantastic.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
What brings you to the capital city?
I was coming to attend the Mothers of Lost Children and Battered Mothers Conference. I actually have to admit something. I have not lost my child, not yet, but we had a court case that ended up in a very, very, very liberal visitation schedule that just is not going to work for me and especially for my child. I am very afraid. I came for the information. I came to see what I could do to stop this from happening, and that's essentially why I'm here today. And also to kind of plug registering those who abuse children and abuse women. Like I said, I had another shirt, had a cousin who died at the hands of a stalker and an abuser. He came to her home, forced his way in, and shot her point blank with a double-barrel shotgun, and she died. She did not make it.
I'm so sorry.
So I'm here for that also, to let people know that you should tell the first time. I did not, and here I am today trying to figure out how to get out of this big mess. So, like I said, I support registering those who hit, who abuse, just like sex offenders. I have another shirt.
Yes, let's see the other shirt.
It says,
This should never
become the thin line between love and hate.
The thin line between love and hate. Police line, do not cross.
Police line, do not cross.
Oh, hang on. A little higher. Support registering perpetrators of child, spousal, intimate partner, abuse, and stalking.
Because a stalker will kill you. They will kill. They will commit femicide. They will do it.
I never heard that before. I like it.
Thank you for your service.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me.
You got it.
Thank you for letting me say something.
You got it.
Thank you.
Right here, I gather, and Harmon, she has a good story about it. There we go.
Bond soldier, color cookie. Sweetest thing out there, though. Sweet molasses.
I'm here for all the moms, and I'm here for particularly one mom, my friend Elsa Newman, the innocent mom in prison 11 years because she dared to fight the family court system. Free her. There's a petition, there's a website. Look at the website, read it, and find the linked petition. Please sign it. Sign to free Elsa Newman. Thank you.
You're the best friend that Elsa Newman or anybody could ever have. Let me get the sign.
Please, get the sign. Free Elsa Newman.
Justice for Elsa.
JusticeForElsaNewman.com.
Gotcha.
The 4 is number 4.
The 4 is
Free
number 4.
Elsa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. We are are mothers here in Washington, D.C. demonstrating. Abusive fathers are getting custody in the court systems, and it's very damaging to the children that should be protected by the courts. We're trying to make a statement that this is not okay, that these judges cannot put our children in harm's way, and absolutely in no way, shape, or form should a loving mother be taken away from her children without any allegations of abuse or neglect. This is not legal. This is very harmful for the children, and we have these children that run a very big chance of growing up to be victims and abusers themselves due to the situation the courts are putting them in.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know the issue too well. I still have my children, and I just pray for equal rights and for fairness. That's one thing that is key in how I raise my children as well. Is to be fair and to respect and to love everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
This technology.
I don't either.
But we're forced to learn, Oh,
well. I'm not. I'm not forced anymore. I learned that lesson.
What brings you to the White House today, Ms. Mom?
I'm here today because I believed in our process as an American citizen. I believed in our Bill of Rights. I believed in the Constitution. I believed in protection for all persons, including children. And I found that through the family courts, there isn't necessarily protection for children. In fact, there's not even appreciation for the Constitution or our civil rights or the civil rights of children. And I want government officials all over this country to treat everyone with fairness and with all the rights that were granted us by developing this country, in the family court all the way to the White House.
I thank you for your service. Proud to stand with you.
Thank you. See, what's interesting? That's your daughter said, do something for me every day.
Please, Mommy. When I had to tell them that I had to leave in 11 days, that the judge had ordered me to leave them and go unsupervised for little faces. That week they said, Mommy, fight for us, do something every day to get us back and don't ever stop. But when it happened to me, I didn't know until a few days later that this was a national epidemic and a crisis in America. Until I met someone else in my neighborhood, same thing happened to her. I didn't even enter the realm that it could be an epidemic in the United States of America. I trusted my officials. I thought the court system would stand up to protect my children. And they didn't. And I slowly, systematically learned nobody cared. DCF, Department of Children and Families, the judge, the investigators, the detectives, Department of Children and Family. I realized that all those official avenues who were supposed to be the gladiators to stand up for my children and all America's children, not only did they know, but they didn't do anything. Then I learned that judges in America, in these types of cases where mothers report abuse, they'll lose custody, and judges routinely ignore, dismiss, and suppress credible evidence. I mean, when a child names and identifies a perpetrator, the child should be protected, and they're not. America's failing our children, but there's wonderful advocacy groups and wonderful people who are joining together, thousands across the United States, to protect America's children. And that's why we're back again today. And we will never ever stop.
We'll never stop.
We will never stop. Never ever.
Happy Mother's Day. I'm sorry we have to be here today. We're the face of your mother who would do anything to protect you. The only difference is we were put in the position of having to do it. I hope we never have to do this again.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
My name is Jennifer, and all I wanted to do is protect my daughter and protect myself from the psychopath. All I wanted to do was keep her safe. Please help me keep her safe and the 58,000 other children every year. Keep them safe.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
It's Laura, and we're out here today in front of the White House talking about what's happening in family courts across the country. The good thing is people here are asking us about it. Unfortunately, the first question is, I don't know that this happens that much. It does, and it happens all over the United States. So we're trying to bring some awareness to that.
Thank you for your service. Go ahead. Not gonna talk. All right. 58,000 children per year are ordered by family courts to live with abusers. What brings you to the Capitol today?
I'm here to protest family courts giving children to abusive fathers and even pedophiles and murderers, and taking them away from good mothers. Only abusive men seek custody from good mothers, and the emphasis is on good mothers. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
The kids can do it. Hi, Kathy Lee.
I'm so glad to see you.
I can't miss it, huh?
You'd never miss it.
No.
What brings you to the Capitol today?
I'm here because I'm from California, the Napa Valley. My name is Melissa Barnett. When my daughter revealed sexual abuse to her teacher in the 2nd grade, I made a report to CPS. I went to court to try and protect my daughter, and I lost custody. I am still fighting for the custody and the protection of my daughter, and so I come to Washington each year to ask my congressmen, my senators, my president in this here United States to protect my child. And thank you so much for being here, so that you can fully understand that we need a federal oversight hearing into the family court crisis, where we report that 58,000 children a year are taken from fit, loving parents and placed in the home of a known batterer and molester.
I really, really thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
Oh, the monument is covered in the mothers of lost children.
To protect the children. Why are we marching?
To protect the children.
Why are we marching?
To protect the children.
Why are we marching? To protect the children.
Hey guys, slow down.
Slow down.
Okay.
你说你在找理由找借口的时候，你根本找的没有我找的合适，你为什么不承认呢？
Speed up. Slow down. All right.
Everything. I mean, it's some of what Whitney was talking about yesterday.
Thank you.
Het zou vet zijn, hè? Doen ze altijd, hè? Waarschijnlijk altijd als er een protest is. Volgens mij is het bijna altijd zo. Ja. Of ze zijn iets aan het maken. En ze is niet kijken hoe het werkt. Ze zijn aan het maken en het werk aan het kijken. Hoe weet je dat het een verrekijker is? Ik weet niet. Ja, ze tegen kijken. Misschien zijn ze het landscape of zo.
What brings you to the Capitol today, ma'am?
We're protesting because children within the family court systems, when they say they're being abused, they're being forced to live with their abusive parent, and they're taken away from their protective mothers.
Thank you. I hope my son grows up to be just like you.
What overcame you is that we're not getting justice. And
tell someone, a teacher, a minister, someone, an adult, and our children are. They are speaking out, and they are speaking to empty ears. There's not protection for them. I know it seems so hard to believe that a system would not protect them. But here, people are here to tell you this is happening. God, turn your ears. Please listen. Your children who are safe. Today is the first Mother's Day that my children are safe. This is my son Damon, and I fought for 10 years. I fought for 10 years to protect him in the family court system, and I was not able to. I did everything I could, but the judges wouldn't listen to me. They wouldn't listen to my son. So when he turned 14, he ran away, and he was in hiding for a year and a half. And just recently, he got married in order to get emancipated. It's not a real marriage, it's a paper marriage. But that's what he had to do to get protected. He is now emancipated, and he can do whatever he wants, so he doesn't have to go and live with his abuser. And I am here today to speak out for other kids and hope that the public becomes aware that this is a very serious and prevalent problem in our courts. Our family court judges every day give custody of children to abusers and molesters. This is not an accident. It is not out of ignorance or incredulity. It is a systematic and methodical cover-up of abuse, especially of sexual abuse, just like Penn State and the Catholic Church, the Boy Scouts. And we have to do something about it. Kids are suffering. There are thousands and thousands of children suffering because our family court judges are handing them over to abusers. So please, please, spread the word to everybody that this is happening. We need the public to know. That's why we're out here today. All these wonderful kids and protective mothers. I am so sorry for all the mothers on Mother's Day who do not have their children. And I'm sorry for the children who do not have their mothers. But I want to say Happy Mother's Day anyway, and that I know that your children still love you, and they will come back to you one day. Okay.
Here, here.
All right, my story is the exact opposite. How my husband got my children is by claiming in a petition, mother gets gratuitous sexual gratification by a perverse and repeated display of her genitals to the minor children. There is no proof. There's never been an investigation. My 9 and 8-year-old were taken before the judge behind closed doors, and the 9-year-old was asked repeatedly by Judge Keller of Pennsylvania if she had seen me naked. She said no. He asked again. Finally, she said, yes, a leg. And he said, what did you think about that? And she said, ew. A week earlier, she had been coached by my husband's lawyer, and I have a bill that she was in the office for an hour and a half. The second 8-year-old went before the Judge Keller and was questioned about nudity of mother and was answered no. So he immediately let her leave. I was out in the hallway with my children because we were late for this hearing, and because my 9-year-old was sick to the stomach because she knew she was being set up, and the security made me go in the courtroom before the judge, and they took my 2 children out of the courthouse on the 8th floor, and I have not seen them since that day, August 15, 2006. I was manhandled out of the court by 4 security guards. And after that, I have been threatened. I have been put in jail for trying to defend myself.
I filed an ethical complaint against a custody evaluator. When I left my abusive man, I went into court immediately and filed for divorce, and they immediately appointed Dr. Timothy Ring of Berks County, Pennsylvania, to be an evaluator, and he would determine who was the better parent. And of course, since my husband paid him and everything, all of our assets were in my husband's name. And I had been with him for 23 years, but he was not an abusive man, not controlling. He was a wonderful father, even though he didn't know answers to questions about parenting, because I was the one who had done it because he was working. I was constellation of mental illnesses. But the report even says, but the children are, they're connected to this woman, so they should still see her. And we go before a first person, and I find out she's related to Dr. Ring by her husband is his lawyer. And then we go before Keller, and the woman who was treating me for abuse told me to file an ethical complaint. So when I filed the ethical complaint and they knew, they were so angry that that's why they took my kids.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
As you can see, it's really difficult to be here today because a lot of these mothers don't have a platform to speak. It's about our children. The main issue is that our child came to us, our mom, and they said, "Mommy, someone's hurting me. My daddy did this. Here's my bruise." We took our child to the doctor. The doctor said, "This person is hurting your child." Someone is hurting your child. What do? You follow the rules. You go to the police. You go to the doctors. No, wait. It's okay. We did what we were supposed to do. We protected our children. The only problem is that when you go to the court, there's a whole different set of rules. Children are supposed to have both parents. We agree to that, but we agree to good parents. Children need two good parents, but children need to be safe first. And the problem, the things that all these moms did wrong, was that we believed our children when they said that someone was hurting them. And the children are lost in the system because they are still being hurt. And one little girl now was asked to make a poster for what the children were thinking. Can you make a poster for what you think the little kids are saying and thinking right now for Mother's Day? And this is what she came up with. "I want my mommy." That's all. No big dramatics. Little kids, they want their mom. Simple. No theatrics. They want their mommy. And every kid has a right to good mommies and good daddies. Thank you.
Thank you all for speaking.
Can I speak? You want to hold this on me while I speak? It's expensive. Hit the red. I can't see. Is it recorded? I'm having a hard time. Yep, recording. Yep. Okay. And this is the Zoom. Okay.
Hi, I'm from Massachusetts. My little boy was taken from me by the court of Massachusetts after I reported the sexual abuse of him. I was a veteran, 27 years in the Air Force. I carried the mail for 20 years. I had no reason to believe that I would not be believed and that my child would not be protected. Instead, my child was given to his pedophile father, who was molested by a priest. And the curse goes on, generation after generation. We are here today to break that curse, to ensure that the laws of our nation are passed to protect our children in the lawless family courts, My personal objective is the abolishment of these courts. They do not follow due process. They do not follow the rules of evidence. And I don't know what they're up to. I don't know why they're destroying children and families. But I want my son Holden to know that Mommy was here talking to the highest levels of government to try to protect him, to try to get the laws of our nation to protect our children. And may there be enough evidence to convict me of this, that I tried to protect him. Thank you all for speaking out.
Thank you. I think we're going to do a little bit more marching. You don't think it can happen.
Yes, you did.
It couldn't happen anywhere.
So I just want to make
Sensible people wouldn't do things like this. But you know, a few years ago, someone came and said, someday you're going to find out that lots and lots of priests in the Catholic Church have been abusing children. People would have thought you're crazy.
Make a copy of the DVD, I'd appreciate it.
But that person would have been the sane person. And I don't want to speak against any church, but that's a piece of reality. Thank you all for speaking out.
Walk around the White House, and once we get back, we'll have another speak out. Don't know where yet. Does anybody have an idea of where we want to go to lunch?
White House tea, right there.
Wants to have lunch when we finish, we'll go to Old Evans Grill, and then after that, in the evening, anyone who wants to can come to a vigil starting at 7 o'clock tonight. Anybody want to come at 7 to the vigil? Right here? Where? Right here. Right here. So that's the plan for today.
Okay. What brings you to the nation's capital today?
To protect my children and bring them to safety, my 3 children. I'm from California, and my children are unsafe and are being kept from a loving mother who was a primary caregiver of our children for 12 years until the courts decided that they were not safe with me, with no evidence of them not being safe with me. My oldest son ran away from home, asking me to please save him and protect him. And then when the courts told him he had to go back to his father, he ran away again. After which the courts took him out of the custody of both me and their father at the father's request and shipped him off to Washington to a facility. And I want everybody to know, you're not above this happening to you. This could happen to any of us. We're good moms. We love our children. Help save our children.
Thank you very much. I want my son to be just like you.
So, my name is Jennifer Collins. I'm here representing the Courageous Kids Network for all the children who were taken away from their good parents, their good mothers, and handed over to their abusive parents. The children who are brave enough to speak out about what is happening to them are being punished by the courts and taken away from their mothers because they want to get protection. And we are here to protest and to ask for help for these kids. It's happening all across the United States, and it's time it ends. Listen to the children.
The batters and pedophiles. Ask us. Why are family courts giving custody to batters and pedophiles?
Ask us.
Why are family courts giving custody to batters and pedophiles?
Ask us.
Why are family courts giving custody to batters and pedophiles?
Ask us.
Why are family courts giving custody to batters and pedophiles?
Ask us.
Why are family courts giving custody to batters and pedophiles?
Ask us. Why are family courts giving custody to batterers and pedophiles? Gonna rerun. Gonna do a rerun.
The final days.
It's such a pleasure to be here with these strong mothers. These strong mothers. I mean, most mothers can't get out of bed in the morning. They are so depressed.
Yep.
And it really takes a special breed, and I think it's like a Holy Spirit-filled breed, to get down here and, you know, testify. Give a witness.
The first year and a half, I was in a closet crying.
Yep.
The first year and a half, I was in a closet crying.
Yeah, it takes time, you know. And Mary Lee didn't write her book for 20 years.
Yeah.
You're ready to come out?
Within 24 hours, I was hit with adultery, you're taking your kids, and restraining order, and you need to leave your house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like...
Nope. He had isolated me from all my friends. My family lived in Texas. Nobody.
And what state was that again?
California.
California.
In the blink of an eye, I lost my girls.
Yeah?
By a protective order that had no merit, no family offenses committed.
Yep.
It was the annual Thanksgiving Day protective order.
The annual Thanksgiving Day.
A year ago.
Yeah.
So you recycle it, use it in new court.
Yep. Here we are again.
Carol's videographer.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The place for mothers in America.
Yes.
On Mother's Day.
On Mother's Day.
Yes.
Instead of in the arms of our children.
Well, what we found out is that democracy does not give you rights. Democracy gives you the right to fight for your rights.
Yeah.
Got to get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights.
Yes.
Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
No, I'll just let you run. I gotta go. Okay.
Hey, hey. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights.
Did I talk too much?
Well, a little bit.
I know.
But let's spread this out. Spread this out. Spread it out. Come on. Yes.
Sure. You know, it's really, really difficult subject to listen to children that have been sexually abused by their parents. My daughter at 4 years old had a sexually transmitted disease. Courts wouldn't protect her. I had to take her into hiding. 4 years later, FBI found me, arrested me. She still had the signs of the sexually transmitted disease at that time because of the kind that it was. So we are all mothers and some fathers who have lost their children to the courts. We listen to our children. Our children tell us Daddy's doing something to us. Grandpa, uncle, teacher, somebody, and we believe them. We report it in the courts. The courts end up punishing us. They take our children from us because we're too emotional. We're too vindictive. They come up with all kinds of reasons. We listen to our children. These are the children's voices we need to listen to. Nobody wants to hear that someone stuck their finger in your child's vagina. Nobody wants to hear these words. But this is what is going on. People are more upset about animal abuse than they are about child abuse.
That's right.
Please, don't turn your deaf ear. Know that these stories are actually true. I know it's hard to think logically that of course the justice system would listen and would do the right thing, but it's not. They don't. Thank you.
That's right. Here, here. gonna read it to us. I got a copy if you want me to. I got a copy. Pull the trigger, Eileen.
Pull the trigger, okay. Everyone who has no idea that this is actually happening should look at the Washington Post editorial page from yesterday. That's May 11th, 2013. Look at the Washington Post editorial page and read the article about the Battered Mothers Custody Conference. That's why we're standing here. People have no idea that when you tell a mother to get herself safe, to get her children safe, that the first thing that's going to happen is that the abuser will go for custody. No single national movement in the United States tells women this. So when they do the appropriate thing, the right thing, the legal thing, they find that they are in the worst kind of catch-22 situation that a human being can imagine. Imagine if somebody tied your hands to get medical help for your child after a terrible illness, after an accident, after a national catastrophe. That's what these mothers are experiencing. Their hands have been tied. And their hands have not only been tied, their children have been taken away from them and given to the person who sexually abused them, sexually assaulted them, battered the mother, and has used the courts as the perfect tool to accomplish the next step in terrorizing the mother and the child. This is not just here in Maryland, it's not just here in Washington, D.C., it's not just in Virginia, it's across the country. And if you spoke with any of the women here, you would see that they come from many states, not just our local area. Ask them what happened. Read the Washington Post. Look at the Battered Mothers Custody Conference website. Look at protectivemothers.com. There are many pieces of information out there that tell about this problem. You can also look at the website called No Way Out But One. This is an incredible documentary about a mother who fled to Holland to seek protection for her children. She is the first American ever given asylum in the country of Holland or any country for domestic violence. It's an incredible film. Please go to that website, No Way Out But One. Thank you, and I'll pass this on.
Hey, Eileen.
My name is Maria. Sorry about that. My name is Maria, and I have a broken back by my ex-husband. He tackled me in a fit of rage, and I ended up with a broken back because of the domestic violence. When I left him, I thought I was keeping myself safe as well as my children safe, and the courts gave my children to the man who broke my back and ordered me to pay an unbelievable amount of child support despite the fact that I'm totally disabled from the abuse. My son at 18 years old, his name is Michael, committed suicide because he could no longer take the abuse in his father's care. He didn't see any way out, so he took his own life. And I still have 2 children, despite all this stuff that's taken place within my family. I still have 2 children living with this convicted abuser.
Court system for 6.5 years without being out of any single court for more than 2 consecutive months. There is no due process.
where do you want to be? My daughter would ask me for several years afterwards, why does my dad want to cut my mom's head off? Because they watched incredibly unspeakable abuse. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I went to a domestic violence shelter. I was put on a treadmill on high. There's no way out. And even the good intended people that would like to help can't, because judges have final say. It's a corrupt system. And until people that are well-intended, especially well-intentioned men, step forward and help women find a way to protect their children, nothing is going to change. We need well-intended men to stand up and say that they don't condone sexual violence against children. We need well-intentioned men to stand up and say that battering women is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for your wives, it's unacceptable for your daughters, it's unacceptable for your granddaughters. So on Mother's Day, these women here aren't standing here without their children. That we're not watching children that are now in teenage years making suicide attempts. My now 16-year-old daughter has made 6 suicide attempts, is using drugs. And if you don't think this applies to you, you're paying for it one way or the other. So make a difference.
Helen.
That's right.
Mary.
Help my girls, bring them home.
Okay. You don't want the face though.
So all these stories are all the same. Same story. Different details, different names, different dates, different numbers of children. But all of these stories are all the same. And there seem to be just a few individuals running family courts in certain states, and there are maybe 20 to 50 individuals who are working in family courts, certain judges, certain attorneys, working with certain evaluators who handle the cases, these certain cases that involve abuse. And these particular cases involving child abuse are very lucrative cases because they will go on year after year, sometime over a decade. And over that decade, all of these attorneys who happen to be involved and all of these evaluators who happen to be involved in all of these cases that are all the same, with different details, different names, different dates, but they're all the same and they're all over the country. And not only are they all over this country, they are in India, they are in Australia, they are in Great Britain, Italy, they are in Italy, they are in Spain. And in Italy, the Supreme Court of Italy has just decided that you cannot do this to mothers and children. The Supreme Court in Italy has decided that this particular scheme, whatever it is, can't be done in Italy because it's wrong, to give batterers and molesters custody of children. And the Italian Supreme Court knows it's wrong. But when a couple of our mothers who are from this country, this United States, when those mothers went to our Supreme Court would not hear the cases. Because according to our justices of our Supreme Court, this is not important. It does not matter if you give custody to a child molester. For some reason, our Supreme Court has decided that maybe the judges know what they're doing, maybe the attorneys know what they're doing, and the evaluators know what they're doing, but the problem is that it's the same judges, it's the same evaluators, it's those same 30 to 50 or so
these very lucrative cases involving child abuse and involving domestic violence. That's what's lucrative. And it's a business. And it's a business that costs lives. It's a business that costs children's futures. And this business now is being investigated. And there are several investigations now going on in several states. And we are finally getting somewhere. We're finally being heard. And for that, we are grateful. Here's a Washington Post article. It's an editorial, and it was out yesterday. So if you'd like to learn more about this family court crisis, please get a copy of the Washington Post.
If you want to read it, you can read it to the people.
No, you want to read it?
Sure. You want to take the camera?
Yep.
All right, here you go. All right, point it at me.
Conference shines light on plight of Brown mothers seeking custody by the editorial board of the Washington Post, published May 11th. Battles over child custody that unfold in courtrooms across the United States. Don't get so sorry.
So sorry.
Okay.
Gina, is this on? I want to record her.
So sorry.
Maybe this button.
Advocates and experts in an effort to reform a system they say doesn't do enough to protect children. Too often, said organizers of the event, which is now in its 10th year, custody or access in contested cases where domestic violence has been alleged is given to abusive fathers because of a misguided emphasis on parental rights that discounts or disbelieves the concerns of women who have been battered. Victimized parents, often suffering from trauma caused by the abuse, are bankrupted. I personally was bankrupted and punished for fighting for their children.
Yes, it's recording.
Cascading disasters and shattered lives are predictable and inevitable, said Eileen Kay, Executive Director of Child Justice in the district and a speaker at the conference. She pointed to the case of 15-month-old Prince McLeod Grams, allegedly drowned by his father after his mother unsuccessfully tried to block unsupervised visits. And I was there when an outraged friend of his mother came to our protest and gave us this report. And the infamous deaths in 2008 of Amy Castillo's young children by a father she warned was dangerous. Mohana, a psychologist at Siena College near Albany, New York, who helped start the conference because of her own divorce experience, said the broad-based coalition of people who attend the event collects data on the extent of the problems, provides support, and most important, advocates for better practices in how decisions are made and monitored. Read more on this topic. The Post's view, Congress must act on violence against women. The Post's view, death of a toddler raises the questions. The Post's view, predicting and preventing murder. The Washington Post Company, May 11th, 2013.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh, sorry.
Can I just
We're
give this
gonna be
back to you?
closing
Yeah,
down
thanks,
our
Marlene.
march, but I just want to say that this is an historic moment in our movement. There are more mothers here this weekend to the conference, but most of all to this Mother's Day March than we've ever seen before. We are growing as a movement, and we are unstoppable. And we will not rest until we put a stop to court-ordered child abuse from their mother. This is an atrocity. It's an act against nature. And when you screw with mothers and their maternal instincts, you've screwed with the wrong people. Onward, we shall continue our movement. The moment we get back home, we will stay united, and we will put a stop to this human rights atrocity. Thank you, mothers, advocates, and good men for coming and supporting us.